Hello, fellow Eduk. So today we're going to talk about Cambodian literature and let's see how rich their culture is. Cambodia is located at Indo-Chinese mainland or Southeast Asia. Cambodia connects China and India, which are one of the Southeast Asian countries. Based in history, there are three main empires of Cambodia: the Funan, Chenla, and Khmer. This is influenced by India that is established located at Tonle Sap for ruling the neighboring countries. Funan is the first empire founded in first 100 CE. It is called the first great empire of Indochina and it has the full control on trades in Southeast Asia. On 600s, the Khmer Empire overthrew the Funan Empire and replaced it with the Kingdom of Chenla, which has lasted until 800 years. On 802 to 1413, Khmer Empire was established where it occupied almost all countries in largely East Asia, all over Indochina, Malaysia, Central Burma, and part of Thailand. The capital of Cambodia is Angkor, which means big city, and it was called Angkor the Magnifico or Angkor Wat. This is the largest architecture of Khmer, which means Great Temple. It was built by Suryavarman II in 1200s. It currently serves as the prelude to the glory of Cambodia. But then the time also come when the subsequent Khmer leader were weakened and almost conquered their country. On 1432, the Vietnamese destroyed the Angkor Wat, which was the beginning of misunderstanding between Vietnamese and Thai, gradually reduced the Khmer territory. After knowing their history, let's now discover their literature. Cambodian language and writings. Khmer is the official language of Cambodia. It is spoken by nearly 90% of the country's population. The language is used in government administration, imparting education at all levels, media, and etc. Next is a Bugida script. It is used to write the Khmer language. Cambodian or Khmer literature has a very ancient origin. Like most Southeast Asian nation literatures, its tradition corpus has two distinct aspects or level. The written literature mostly restricted to royal courts of Buddhism monasteries and the oral literature which is based on local folklore. It is heavily influenced by Buddhism and predominant religion as well as by the Hindu epics Ramayana and Mahabharata. That ancient stone inscription is a testimony of antiquity of Khmer language of the multitude of epigraphic inscription on the stone. The first written proof that has allowed the history of Khmer Empire to be reconstructed of those inscriptions, these writings on column stela and throw lights on the royal lineages, religious ethics, territorial organization of the kingdom, Buddhist texts following the stone inscription. Some of the oldest Khmer documents are translation and commentaries of the Pali Buddhist texts of the Tripitaka written in the Khmer script. There are two major Sanskrit epics of Cambodia. First, Ramayana. Cambodian Ramayana versions known as Ramakarti reveal a variety of instances and portrayal of Ram's character and behavior, is molded to fit the Theravada idea of a hero who is an image of the Buddha. Also, the lives led the rest are those of saintly paragon of virtue. To deal with the problem of Cambodian sensibilities posed by the major role play in the Ramayana by monkeys, Khmer author devised ways to portray also their unattractive, repugnant features. Ramakarti interest in magic is the final example of indigenization. Next is Mahabharata. Mahabharata is also a political discourse that reveals the deep ideas of the Indian psyche. This is an important culture sharing between India and Cambodia. Now, let's talk about the culture of Cambodia. Throughout Cambodia's long history, religion has been a major source of culture inspiration over nearly 2 millennia. Cambodians have developed a unique Khmer culture and belief system, from the syncretism of indigenous animistic beliefs and the Indian religions of Buddhism and Hinduism. Are you hungry? Well, let me introduce to you the traditional food of Cambodia. This is Samlor Korkor. This is the most popular food of Cambodia. In English, it is mean steering soup. Next is Nom Bang Chuk, Cambodian rice noodle, typically a breakfast food. It also called Khmer noodles. The third one is Baisak Krauk. This is Cambodian pork and rice dish commonly served as a breakfast dish. This is combination of pork and rice dish. Next is Karisak Muami or chicken red curry. Cambodian chicken red curry, most likely the chicken curry we have in the Philippines, but the difference is they cook it with coconut milk and vegetables. And lastly, Kazako or beef stew in palm sugar. This dish is a hearty beef and noodle dish usually served for special occasions. So now let's talk about the traditional dress of Cambodians. Sampot is the traditional garment of Cambodians. It is basically a sarong similar to those worn in neighboring countries like Laos and Thailand with slight variations. And it's end of my report. Thank you!